Hello, I am Dr. Surya Kumar, working as assistant professor in Institute of Microbiology, Madurai Medical College. So today we are going to discuss a current topic: is RT-PCR an ultimate to diagnose COVID-19? Because everywhere we are doing diagnosis of COVID by RT-PCR, we have the doubt whether it is 100% reliable. If it is positive, shall I go for the treatment? Or if it is negative, shall I conclude it is really negative? So this presentation will throw some light on it. See here, there is a category called but negative. It's my experience. When I'm discussing with my clinicians, they used to say but negative. What is but negative? See here, sometimes they used to say, sir, patient is symptomatic. Clinically, he is having viral pneumonia, but RT-PCR COVID-19 negative. Or they used to say, second category, imaging. CT findings are typical. I can see ground glass appearance, but COVID results are negative. Or based on the history, the person is having close contact with COVID-19, but COVID-19 RT-PCR is negative. Very, very important. Many of the time I am experiencing, sir, 2 days before the patient was positive. Now I give the repeat swab within 2 days. It become negative. How? What is the reason? So this presentation will throw a light on this for but negative category. Why it become but negative? Why the test is disappointing you? You are 100% confident by clinical, imaging, history, but laboratory is uh, disappointing you. See the reasons. There's a terminology called false negative. Every test we are having sensitivity, specificity, like that, false positive and false negative. So what is false negative? The person is actually having the disease, but the test shows negative. I give the definition: someone who truly has the disease, but the test negative, instead of become positive. That's called false negative. So what is the reason to get false negatives in RT-PCR for COVID-19? Number one, we call it as error. So there are two types of error. One is called natural or biological error. Another one is man-made error or human error. So there is a combination of these two will lead to false negative in COVID-19. So we'll see what are all the possible errors. Number one, reasons for false negative: pre-analytical area. That means before the sample reaches the lab from the collection center. So what are the possible errors? Number one, sampling. Choose the right sample. I used to say selection and collection are the two important pillars of diagnosis. If there is a problem in selection of specimen, game over. Collection of specimen, that's all. For example, ideal specimen for COVID patient is nasopharyngeal swab. It may present in stool, but that's not ideal specimen. Saliva, no. Oropharyngeal, okay. And bronchial fluid, bronchoalveolar lavage, sputum, tissues, blood. Lot of specimens are there, but ideal superior specimen for RT-PCR prescribed by the ICMR and governing authorities is nasopharyngeal swab selection. Number two, procedure. It should be taken in a proper way. If they are not taken in proper way, we will not get the result. Next is storage. It should be maintained 2 to 8 degree, either overheating, or if it is in room temperature 30-35 degree, there is possibility of lysis of the virus. You will not get the result. Next is important thing, viral transport medium. If any substandard or contaminated, or if the pH is adjusted, there should be proper pH needed for the viability of the virus. Otherwise, the virus will lyse, the RNA will lose, we will not get the results. Finally, transportation. It should be on cold storage. So these are all the 4 important steps which happen in the collection center to laboratory. If they are not selecting the specimen properly, not taking the specimen properly, or not stored, or not using the proper viral transport medium, or not properly transported, we will not get the result. It may lead to false negative. Second, inside the laboratory, analytical error. Number 1, technique. We should use the appropriate technique as per the standard operative procedure. Any faulty technique, faulty extraction, we will not get the RNA, we will not get the proper RNA. So the result won't become positive. Next is reagents. We should use the prescribed reagents and kits at prescribed concentrations. Next is proper equipment with proper calibration. It should undergo proper quality check. And very, very important, many times this may happen in many laboratories. Some kits are not suitable for some equipments. The equipment may not have the particular fluorochrome, particular dye. It's not having the particular facility to detect the particular dye, but the kit is having the particular dye. It will not detect. And always the company of the equipment, the manufacturer, they will suggest some kits, some specific specifications. We should follow the particular specification, particular kit, then only it's possible. There is mismatching of the extraction kit, PCR kit, and the equipment, the triad. If there is any mismatching, we will not get the optimum result. Next is very important, the word called limit of detection. I need to explain what is it. Every test has its limit of detection. That means number of RNA that the test will detect, minimum amount of RNA that the test will detect. For example, I am using a kit A. It will detect, the limit of detection is 100, means the patient viral load is more than 100, then only it will detect. If it is less than 100, it will not detect. Another kit I am using, it may be 500 is the limit of detection. It will detect more than 500, less than 500, it will not detect. So what will happen? Any kit, if the limit of detection is very high, we have a lot of chances to miss the case. Low positives will miss. So it may lead to false negative. Vice versa, if the limit of detection is too low, it may lead to false positive. That means it will detect the contaminants. The contaminants will get amplified. So false positive will come. So where can I get the limit of detection, sir? Every kit, if it is a properly approved kit by FDA, there is a kit insert. Inside the kit insert, they will mention clearly limit of detection is this much amount of RNA. So based on that, we need to interpret. I'll give 2 examples to you for better understanding. I have kit A, it will detect 100. I will have kit B, it will detect 500. So day 1, I gave the patient is 150 viral load. Day 1, I am doing with kit A. So it will give positive because my kit will detect more than 100. He is having 150. Beautiful positive will come. Day 2, I am changing the kit into kit B. You give the specimen. Patient may have 150 or 170. But my kit will detect only more than 500. So I'll give negative. That's one reason. Another important reason will come. Viral RNA level, if it is below the limit of detection in the patient, low RNA level, it will not detect. And very important thing, our immune system, which we cannot understand. Today, the viral load will be very high. The patient immune system is too good. Over the night, there will be drastic reduction in viral load. There is a drastic production of antibodies. Possibilities are there. Same kit, same machine. Suppose if the patient is having 120, my kit will detect 100. Today it is positive. Next day or within 1 or 2 days it become 90. My test will not detect because of immune system. So because of this lot of confounding factors, sample collection, processing, kit, reagent, and natural biology, immunology, immune response, they all together put the sensitivity of test into 70 to 90%. So what does it means? If 100 cases of COVID-19, if you do the test with RT-PCR, only 70 to 90% people it will detect. That means 10 to 30% people it will not detect. So we should keep it in our mind when you are seeing the result of RT-PCR. So that means if the RT-PCR positive, you take it as positive, proceed. Because very less chance to get false positives. But if the RT-PCR result is negative, don't take it as granted as 100% negative. He may be one among the 10 to 30%. That's the limitation of the test. So either we can repeat or we can use other tools like imaging, clinical examination, contact history, etc. And we need to wait for some time. We can go for repeat specimen. Based on that, we can go for the management plan. So only RT-PCR alone 100% it will not help. So I will not say it's a useless test. If RT-PCR is negative, there are two possibilities. One, he may be really negative, or he may be under false negative. The false negative may be 10 to 30%. That we should not miss. If we miss the 10 to 30%, he will go and spread the disease to the community. Okay, so hope you understand the sensitivity of RT-PCR test and interpretation of RT-PCR test. So any doubt or anything regarding this RT-PCR interpretation, you kindly contact me. My email ID is there. Thanks for watching and see you with some other videos. Thanks again.